Let me tell you something, ladies, especially my grown, seasoned 50-plus queens. If you're over 50 and you're doing this right here, trust me, men notice. Oh, we notice everything. Don't let these fellas fool you. Men might act clueless when it comes to laundry or emotions. But when a woman over 50 starts moving a certain way, baby, we become detectives. We see things we don't even possess the vocabulary to describe. Because a woman over 50, you built different. You done lived life. You done survived storms. You done raised kids, carried families, held jobs, buried pain, kept secrets, and still managed to look good doing it. So when you start shining, a man recognizes that glow instantly. When you're over 50 and you walk with confidence, not arrogance, confidence, that energy hits different. It's not the shaky, insecure kind. It's the I know who I am. And I don't need validation from nobody energy. Men notice that. Men love that. Because grown men, we crave peace. We crave maturity. We crave a woman who ain't trying to compete, compare, or complain. Let me tell you what else men notice. When you take care of yourself, not trying to look 25. Nah, forget that, but taking care of yourself because you love you. When you dress with class, when you smell good, when you walk in the room like you own it, men notice. We see a woman who knows her worth, and worth is attractive at any age. But at 50 plus, your worth comes with seasoning, wisdom, and a whole lot of experience. That's irresistible. And let me be real. When a woman over 50 has peace, that's magnetic. Men can feel your peace before you even open your mouth. A peaceful woman is like fresh air. A man will chase peace faster than he'll chase beauty. Because beauty fades, peace stays. But the biggest thing men notice when you've healed, when you're not dragging the old versions of you into the new seasons of your life, when you can laugh at yourself, when you can sit at dinner, crack a joke, tell a story. Your joy ain't forced. It's real. That kind of energy, baby, that hits a man's soul. So if you're over 50 and you're loving yourself, if you're over 50 and you're protecting your peace, if you're over 50 and you're walking with confidence, if you're over 50 and you're glowing from the inside out, you're over 50 and you're finally done tolerating nonsense, men notice. Trust me, we don't miss it. A grown man can spot a grown woman from a mile away. And if you're doing all this, baby, let me tell you, you ain't just being noticed, you're being admired. Let me break something down for you real slow, because some of y'all don't even realize the power you're walking around with. When a woman hits 50 and she starts carrying herself with a certain kind of confidence, men notice immediately. And I'm not talking about the kind of attention you used to get in your 20s, when men looked at you because you were young. No. This is different. This is deeper. This is I've lived life. And I'm still standing strong energy. And let me tell you something, grown men respond to that. See, when you're over 50, you've survived things. You've gone through heartbreaks, disappointments, losses, victories, lessons, blessings, all of it. You've done the emotional labor of raising kids, building homes, holding families together. You've cried in silence, smiled in public, and carried responsibilities most people never even noticed. But here you are still walking, still smiling, still glowing. That glow right there, baby. A man sees that before he sees anything else. What men notice most at this stage of life is the confidence that comes from knowing who you are. You don't walk into a room hoping somebody approves of you. You walk in knowing you already approved of yourself. You're not chasing attention, you are the attention. A man will sit back and watch you, trying to figure out how someone who's been through so much can still shine so bright. And let me tell you, that mystery, it pulls us in. When a woman over 50 carries confidence, it's not loud. It's not showy. It's soft, steady, and powerful. It's the way you sit with your back straight. The way you speak slow and deliberate. The way you don't argue with people who are committed to misunderstanding you. That's confidence. That's maturity. And that right there is attractive in a way youth can't compete with. Men also notice how you carry yourself physically, not because you're trying to look like. You're 25 again, but because you respect your body enough to care for it. You might take your morning walks, keep your skin glowing, dressing something classy that fits just right. Not too much, not too little. A grown woman knows how to balance elegance with comfort. And that quiet elegance, it hits a man right in his chest. But let me tell you the biggest part. A confident woman over 50 doesn't operate from fear. She's not afraid of being alone. She's not afraid of speaking her truth. She's not afraid of walking away if something doesn't serve her. She doesn't beg, doesn't chase, doesn't settle. And grown men can smell that strength from across the room. A confident woman knows her worth. And a man respects what's valuable. You're not out here trying to prove yourself. You're not trying to impress anybody. You've already lived enough life to know that peace is priceless. You protect yours like your life depends on it, because it does. And baby, that peace you carry, men crave that more than anything. You become a safe place, a calm presence, a steady force. That's confidence, that's power. So when a woman over 50 stands tall, speaks clearly, laughs freely, and moves like someone who's not worried about losing anything, because she knows she can rebuild her whole life if she has to, men notice that. Men admire that. Men respect that. You don't have to say a word. Your confidence speaks for you before you even open your mouth. You want to know something, men notice instantly when a woman is over 50. It's the way she takes care of herself, not because she's trying to impress anybody, but because she finally learned to love herself the right way. See, at 20, you take care of yourself because you think you have to. At 30, you're trying to keep up. At 40, you're balancing everybody else's needs before your own. But at 50, something shifts. Something powerful clicks in your spirit. You start doing things for you. And that right there is what men notice the most. When a woman starts prioritizing herself, her peace, her joy, her routines, her comfort, her health, she becomes a whole different kind of beautiful. And men feel that energy. We see how you dress, not to compete with younger women, but to honor your own body. You might be wearing simple clothes, but baby, you wear them with elegance. You move with grace. You smile like you're relaxed for the first time in decades. It's the way you sit at a restaurant and savor your food instead of rushing. The way you fix your hair without obsessing. The way you smell good because you chose something you love, not because you wanted someone else's approval. That's grown woman energy. I've lived long enough to know I deserve the best energy. A man notices when a woman over 50 takes care of herself from a place of self-respect, not insecurity. And let me tell you something else. Men see when a woman takes care of her mind. A woman over 50 who feeds her spirit with positivity, who protects her mental space, who refuses to let chaos take root in her life, men notice that immediately. Because grown men are tired. We've been through life too. We've seen drama, confusion, ego, pride, arguments, foolishness. But when a woman shows up with calmness in her voice, softness in her smile, clarity in her eyes, she becomes unforgettable. A woman over 50 who has learned to take care of herself emotionally is a magnet. She doesn't react to every little thing. She knows when to let something go. She knows what deserves her energy and what doesn't deserve 1 second of her time. She doesn't overthink every conversation, doesn't chase closure, doesn't chase explanation. She's healed enough to choose peace over proving a point. And let me tell you, men see that. Men cherish that. Men praise that in silence. Another thing men notice is when a woman over 50 carries herself with quiet discipline. She doesn't brag about her routines. She doesn't show off her habits. But she's consistent. Maybe she wakes up early and takes a walk. Maybe she does a little stretching. Maybe she reads instead of scrolling endlessly. Maybe she lights a candle before bed to calm her spirit. Maybe she drinks water like it's medicine. These little things may not seem big to her, but to a man watching, it's incredibly attractive. Because discipline says a lot about a person's character. And let's be honest, when a woman respects her own time, her own body, her own heart, a man realizes he has to respect her too, or he's not allowed anywhere near her life. When a woman is over 50 and she's taking care of herself, she sets the standard without saying a word. Her actions say, if you come into my life, come correct. And that right there, that changes everything. Men notice when a woman over 50 looks in the mirror and sees someone worthy, someone beautiful, someone enough, because that kind of woman carries a deep, peaceful glow. And no man with sense is ever blind to that. Let me tell you something real. Men notice when a woman over 50 walks into a room and owns her space. Not like she's trying to be noticed, no. She doesn't have to. She walks like she's already been through the fire and came out shining. Every step, every gesture, every glance has intention behind it. Men feel at the moment she crosses the threshold, it's magnetic. And it's not because she's showing off. It's because she's learned that the energy she carries is worth more than any outfit, any makeup, any hairstyle. That energy, that confidence. Men notice that immediately. A woman over 50 who knows how to laugh at life, who finds joy in little things, who can smile without needing permission, men notice that. Because we know life has thrown some heavy punches. We know she's seen heartbreak and disappointment, and yet she chooses joy anyway. That takes strength. That takes courage. And that kind of woman doesn't just attract men, she commands respect. Men can't help but be drawn to that. And let me tell you this, man, notice the way a woman over 50 speaks. Her words are measured, thoughtful. She doesn't fill every silence with chatter. She doesn't gossip. She doesn't complain about nonsense. She doesn't waste time trying to convince anyone she's right. When she speaks, it carries weight. When she tells a story, you hang on every word. A grown man recognizes the power of words from a woman who's lived life. She doesn't have to yell. She doesn't have to demand attention because her presence already does that. Another thing men notice is emotional stability. A woman over 50 who has learned to control her emotions, who doesn't overreact, who doesn't carry the baggage of the past into the present, men notice that. They notice when she can hold a conversation without letting anger or insecurity get in the way. They notice when she offers empathy without being soft, when she sets boundaries without being cold. That balance is rare, and men respect it. Men are drawn to women who don't just survive life, they thrive despite it. Men also notice the independence of a woman over 50. She doesn't need someone to complete her because she's already complete. She knows her worth. She knows her value, and she doesn't settle for less than she deserves. She can make decisions for herself, take care of herself, and create her own happiness. And men notice that. Because grown men want grown women. They want partners, not dependents. A woman who's independent but still warm, kind, and loving is irresistible. And here's the kicker, men. Notice the subtle things too. The way she touches her hair absent-mindedly, the way she tilts her head when listening, the sparkle in her eyes when she's genuinely interested in someone or something, the laughter that comes from deep inside, not forced, the way she can be playful and serious at the same time. Those little things, men remember them long after she leaves the room. A woman over 50 who carries herself with grace, who prioritizes joy, who speaks with wisdom, who manages her emotions, who lives independently, who shows subtle signs of authenticity and warmth, men notice. They see her aura, they feel her energy, and they can't ignore it because this isn't about trying to get attention. This is about being fully alive, fully confident, fully herself. And that, baby, is the kind of woman men never forget. Now, let me tell you something about men and women over 50, especially women who have learned how to value themselves. Men notice when a woman over 50 carries a kind of inner strength that can't be faked. They notice when she doesn't react to nonsense, when she doesn't tolerate drama, when she doesn't let the world dictate her mood. You see, by the time a woman hits this age, she's gone through enough to know what she will accept and what she won't. That kind of clarity is magnetic. A man doesn't just see it, he feels it. He feels the calm confidence radiating off her. He feels the unshakable peace in her presence, and it draws him in. Men notice when a woman over 50 knows how to carry herself physically. And I'm not talking about trying to look 25. No, I'm talking about posture, grace, and energy. The way she walks into a room with her head held high, shoulders relaxed, eyes forward, a subtle smile on her face. That's power. That's elegance. That's, I'm comfortable in my own skin, and you better respect that. Men notice the way she moves. They notice the way she owns her space without ever demanding attention. It's quiet, but it's undeniable. Men also notice when a woman over 50 has joy that comes from within. She doesn't rely on validation from anyone. And she doesn't need constant attention. Her laughter comes from a place of genuine happiness. Her smile isn't forced. She knows how to enjoy life, even the small moments. And men notice that because it's rare. Many women at this age may have settled into routines or let life wear them down. But a woman who maintains a sense of wonder and playfulness becomes unforgettable. Men are drawn to that light. Another thing men notice is emotional intelligence. A woman over 50 who understands herself, who can handle conflicts calmly, who doesn't carry grudges unnecessarily, she is gold. Men notice when a woman can speak her mind without being harsh, when she can disagree with grace, when she can listen without judgment. That balance between strength and softness is powerful. It shows that she's learned from her experiences, and men admire that. They recognize maturity and they respect it deeply. Men notice independence too. A woman over 50 who doesn't rely on anyone for her happiness, who has her own routines, her own passions, her own life, is magnetic. She can take care of herself, and yet she can share her life with someone without being clingy or needy. That balance of independence and warmth is rare, and men recognize it immediately. They notice that she sets boundaries, protects her energy, and honors her time. A woman like that is not just attractive. She's commanding respect without saying a word. And let's not forget the little things. Men notice subtle confidence, the way she tilts her head when she's thinking, the sparkle in her eye when she's engaged, the warmth in her touch. Men notice how she can laugh freely, joke without being silly, and still maintain a sense of dignity. Men notice how she listens attentively, how she shares her wisdom without preaching. These things make her memorable. A woman over 50 who radiates strength, confidence, grace, joy, emotional intelligence, and independence. Men notice her. They see her energy, they feel her presence, and they can't ignore it. They notice not because she's trying to attract them, but because she's fully herself. And when a woman finally reaches that point in life where she's unapologetically herself, men can't help but admire, respect, and remember her. Now let me tell you something else that men notice when a woman is over 50, and this is big, so pay attention. Men notice authenticity. They notice when a woman doesn't pretend to be someone she's not. By the time a woman reaches 50, she's been through enough life to know what works for her, what makes her happy, and what she simply won't tolerate. And men grown, mature men can spot that from a mile away. They notice when she's comfortable with herself, when she doesn't put on a facade to impress anybody, when she doesn't chase approval. That realness, that honesty, that draws men in like a magnet. Men respect it because they know it didn't come easy. Men notice laughter and joy that's genuine. A woman over 50 who has learned to laugh at herself, at life, at little mishaps, she becomes unforgettable. That kind of joy isn't loud or over the top. It's quiet, deep, and contagious. Men notice when a woman doesn't take herself too seriously, but still carries herself with dignity. They notice when her smiles reach her eyes, when her humor isn't forced, and when she can enjoy moments fully without worrying about judgment. That's a rare quality, and men remember it. Men notice when a woman is independent, but still nurturing. She doesn't need a man to complete her because she's already complete. Yet, she still carries warmth, care, and kindness that make a man feel appreciated and respected. She knows how to give love without losing herself, how to support without overextending, and how to be generous without being taken for granted. That balance of strength and softness is magnetic, and men notice it immediately. Men notice when a woman over 50 has set boundaries and protects her energy. She doesn't tolerate drama. She doesn't allow negativity to take root in her life. And she knows when to walk away from situations that don't serve her. And that's powerful because men understand that a woman who respects herself demands respect from others. They notice when she doesn't compromise her peace, when she values her time, and when she honors her own heart. That kind of self-respect is rare, and men can't help but notice it. Men notice intelligence and wisdom. A woman over 50 who has life experience, who can navigate challenges calmly, who makes decisions with thought and understanding, becomes magnetic. They notice when she can hold a conversation on real topics, when she can offer advice without preaching, when she can challenge a man without belittling him. Men notice women who have cultivated their minds, who are curious, who continue to learn and grow. That mental energy is attractive because it shows depth, resilience, and perspective. Men notice subtle elegance. It's in the way she dresses without overdoing it, the way she carries herself without arrogance, the way she handles social situations with grace. It's not about looking younger or flashy. It's about being poised, composed, and confident in her own skin. Men notice the small things, the tilt of her head, the warmth in her eyes, the way she moves through a room like she owns herself without demanding attention. Those details linger in a man's mind long after she leaves. Men notice a woman over 50 who is at peace with her past, present, and future. They notice the calm confidence, the joy, the wisdom, The authenticity, the boundaries, and the subtle elegance. Men notice all of this, not because she's trying to attract them, but because she's fully herself, unapologetically living her life with dignity and grace. And when a woman reaches that level of self-awareness and self-love, men don't just notice, men admire, respect, and remember her energy forever. Now, here's something most women over 50 don't realize, but men notice it instantly, and it's powerful. Men notice when a woman has learned to embrace herself fully, her flaws, her past mistakes, her scars, her victories, and her triumphs. By this age, a woman has lived long enough to know that perfection isn't real, but authenticity is golden. Men can feel authenticity in the way a woman carries herself, in her laughter, in her conversation, and in her interactions with the world. Men notice when she isn't pretending to be someone she isn't. They notice when she's comfortable in her own skin, and they're drawn to it because it's rare, and it speaks volumes about her strength, resilience, and self-awareness. Men notice when a woman over 50 has cultivated joy from the inside out. She doesn't rely on anyone to make her happy. She doesn't seek constant validation. And she doesn't let the world dictate her mood. Her happiness comes from self-acceptance, from knowing her worth, and from living life on her own terms. And men see that. They see it in her eyes, in her posture, in her smile. A man will remember a woman like that because she radiates a light. That can't be dimmed by circumstance, and that energy is magnetic. Men notice when a woman carries herself with quiet confidence. I'm talking about a confidence that isn't loud, isn't boastful, but is steady, powerful, and undeniable. She walks into a room and doesn't need anyone to announce her presence because her energy does it for her. She speaks when she wants to speak. She laughs when she wants to laugh. And she doesn't bend to anyone's expectations. Men notice this because confidence like that is rare. It tells them she's a woman who has survived, who has grown, and who isn't here to settle for anything less than what she deserves. Men notice emotional intelligence. A woman over 50 who has learned to handle herself, who can navigate disagreements without losing her cool, who knows when to speak and when to stay silent, is irresistible. Men notice when a woman can set boundaries without being harsh, when she can communicate clearly without being demanding, and when she can love without losing herself. That balance of strength and compassion is magnetic. It shows that she's learned from life, that she's grown, and that she is secure enough to allow others in without compromising her own peace. Men notice independence. A woman over 50 who has her own life, her own routines, her own passions, and her own goals is irresistible. She doesn't need anyone to complete her because she's already whole, but she can choose to share her life with someone special. That combination of independence and warmth is a magnet. Men notice when she manages her own finances, takes care of her body, pursues her interests, and still maintains a kind and loving presence. That shows balance, maturity, and strength. Men notice the subtle elegance in a woman over 50. It's in the way she dresses with taste, the way she moves through a room with grace, the way she engages in conversation with poise. It's in the details, the tilt of her head, the sparkle in her eyes, the warmth of her smile, and the confidence in her posture. These small things make a lasting impression because they're authentic, effortless, and reflective of a woman who values herself. Men notice all of these things: her authenticity, her joy, her confidence, her emotional intelligence, her independence, her subtle elegance, not because she's trying to impress, but because she's fully herself. A woman over 50 who embraces who she is, protects her peace, radiates confidence, and lives her life unapologetically is unforgettable. Men notice, admire, respect, and remember that energy long after she's gone.